I'm Baer and you might remember me from such movies as 101 Bears and Let's Go with the Bear Again. I'm here to tell you that this is a podcast by Chuckle Fun, which I hope you all enjoy. So, I will speak to you a little bit later on, but here is Chuckle Fun. Okay, so welcome to this Bear Story podcast. As you've heard Baer McClure say, this is the Bear Story podcast. My name is Chuckle Fun, and let's get started. So, back sometime near the beginning of 2020, I got the game Dreams for the PlayStation 4. I was using Unity and Unreal Engine, and I can't remember the name of the other thing I was using, but I was using something else too, and none of them seemed to work for me very well. I wasn't able to make the things that I really wanted to make, as it was too hard to make animations in games using those things. So when I found out about Dreams, I decided I would pre-order it. Then when Dreams came out, I got it. I didn't get to use the early access version of Dreams, but once the full version came out, I got it. Now, I didn't know what to make in Dreams. First of all, I started making remakes of games that already existed, like Tomb Raider and The Sims. But then I decided I want to make my own game, my own series. I heard about Pig Detective and the Opposite Day games and thought, well, I'd like to do something like that and make my own series of games. So, I sat down and I began to think about what games I could make. I remember I saw a bear character in Dreams before and thought maybe I could make a game about bears. But what could it be called? I sat and I thought for a while, then I came up with the name Bear Battle, and I stuck with that name for quite some time. Then I decided Bear Battle's not a good name, and I thought some more and came up with the name Bear Story. So I got to work making my first Bear Story game. Now, Bear Story 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 were simple. They weren't as, much things happening in it as the later Bear Story games. All you had was Mr. Bear going about different remix levels of other levels people had made. And that was really it. There was no story to it, even though it was called Bear Story. But things changed. When Bear Story 6 came out, two new characters were introduced. Evil Lord Power and Mr. Bear's girlfriend, Mrs. Bear. The reason for adding more characters rather than just keeping the same Mr. Bear character was I wanted to make the game more interesting. So I introduced Evil Lord Power, who was the bad guy in the series, and I introduced Mr. Bear's lovely girlfriend, Mrs. Bear. Then when Bear Story 7 came along, two new characters were introduced, Mr. Bear's parents. But they were only seen at the start, and then Evil Lord Power got rid of them. Then came Bear Story 8, when some new characters were added. We had Mr. Bear's girlfriend, obviously, Mrs. Bear, the evil guy, Evil Lord Power, but we also had Mr. Bear's dog added to the game. Then, when Bear Story 9 came, and I forgot to mention that Baer McClure was also added to Bear Story 8, but then when Bear Story 9 came, we had some more new characters. We had the female bear that worked in the Nice Bear Hotel in Bear Island. We had the conductor of the train. We had Mr. Helpful Bear, Mr. Blue Bear, Mr. Yellow Bear, and then that was it. But when Bear Story 10 came along, we had some more new characters. We had Zombie Bears, and we had Mr. Jolly Bear, Mrs. Happy Bear, Bear Detective who's just Mr. Bear in disguise, and we had Mayor Panda Bear as well. Bear Story 11 is coming out later this year with some more new characters like Mr. Mr. Cool Bear, and also Santa Bear, which I forgot to mention that Santa Bear was in Bear Story 8 as well. So yeah, that's what happened with Bear Story, that's where it came from. But there are spin-off games like Bear Story Bowling and Bear Story Unofficial Impy Hub for the Impies a few months ago, and also other games too, like Bear Story Small Bears and Bear Story Pinball. I have also had some help to make some of my spin-off games, and I'm grateful for that. Now, Mr. Bear McClure has something he wants to say. Hi, my name is Bear McClure, and you might remember me from such TV shows as Bear's Kitchen and Fun Time with Bear McClure. I'm here to tell you that Chuckle Fun made a good choice when he added me to his Bear Story games. I like to be helpful, but I can't help too much, as I'm busy filming TV shows and movies. My recent movie, Monster Bear, did very well, but Evil Lord Power is trying to make counterfeit copy pirate DVDs, which I need to stop him, because I don't want pirate DVDs of my new movie being sold. Anyway, Chuckle Fun was a nice person for making the Bear Story series, and I would just like to say there should be a game called Bear McClure Story, all about me. Just me. No other bears or anything else in it, just me. Woof woof. I want to make a game about me. Woof woof. No dog. No games about you. Only Bear McClure. I'm the best. Oh, you think so? Yes, I know so, dog. Woof woof. I'm out of here. Woof woof. I am Mayor Panda Bear, and I want to know what's going on here. Well, I'm just saying that I'm better than the dog, and I should have my own game series, Bear McClure Story, all about me and no other bears or any characters else in it. I think Chuckle Fun's doing great with his Bear Story games. We don't need a game about you. I am Evil Lord Power, and we need a game about me. Wahaha. No, we don't need a game about you either. Right, I better go. Okay, thank you for all of that, guys. Well, that's this podcast finished.